kind of muscles you have? No. Bro, what kind of patterns you have? Or is it just aesthetics?
Hello everybody, welcome back to Training Every Single Day. I spent most of today just working on some strength movements and a few pretty good stretches. Now I started off with some pull-ups on the tree. Now I used to not really have any pulling goals, not really caring about my pulling strength or pulling movements. Just for balance was the only goal for quite a while. But recently I've been kind of wanting to try to learn a one-arm pull-up. I was doing the one-arm isometric holds a little bit ago, and I feel like that's something that at least want to give it a try. Then I went into doing some lower body work with some one-legged squats and then some double-legged squats. And the lower body, I've heard a lot of, bodybuilders say that the lower body was meant for endurance. Is a bit different than the upper body. The upper body is meant for fast, precise strength movements, low volume, but the legs, they need to be trained a little bit more and more and more. I think it was Mike Menser's coach, who I forget the name of, said that, if you put a person on a leg press machine and you had them to exert maximum force for 1 minute straight, the force would not drop down at all, or if it did, it would drop down about 80%, from 100% to 80% over 1 minute of maximum exertion on a leg machine. But on an upper body machine, like a bicep curl, you'd be pulling, and it would feel like the most weight that you could pull, but it would probably drop down to about 20% of what it was by the end of that 1 minute of pulling. So that might help you change your approach to what you use for volume on the upper body and the lower body, but you can really adapt and gain. You can make adaptations to the upper body for endurance, and you can make adaptations to the lower body for quick burst of mobility or whatnot. Here is a pretty good stretch, the diagonal stretch. I used to do it with higher repetitions, but I was trying to do it a little bit differently today. Just longer holds with a good amount of intensity, working on the coordination with a high intensity. And a good stretch. This is called the diagonal stretch. Ido Portal uses this one. It's pretty common in the movement culture. You just keep one leg straight, and then you try to touch the back of your knee. And then if you can touch the back of your knee, you can touch the back of your ankle. And then you can progress by either elevating the leg even more or trying to do some sort of upper body manipulation with the hand that you're reaching backwards with. And try not to twist the spine so much to keep the stretch going. I could still do some improvements by holding it a little bit longer and being a little bit more fluid with the motions, but this was quite challenging. Mainly challenging my coordination and not so much as a stretch as it was really meant to be. So maybe next time I'll do it more with the bent leg of the front leg instead of the straight leg one, but I wanted to try that movement just to work on the technique. Here's where I really start off the night type stretching, doing some presses and the handstand, and then doing some fingers and some splits work. Some of them are basic. I should have done a little bit more bridges. I'll do some bridges tomorrow with some crawling. That's the plan currently. Off camera, I did a good amount of walking, some breath work, of course, and just some light movement, some light stretching to keep the whole body kind of nice and loose. So if you made it this far in the video, please leave a like, please comment, please subscribe, follow the Instagram, and maybe book a coaching call if you want to save some time when you're on training. The splits are a really good movement you should try out if you can. But let me know what you guys are training for, how your guys' training is doing. I'd love to hear that. If you want to see any moves that I should train for or should do, or if you want me to make something I could do in some shorts, I'll definitely make some shorts on some topics you guys want to hear about. I want to be making some more YouTube shorts and some Instagram posts. So if you guys have any, specific questions about like some squats or training the knees or whatnot that aren't already in the playlist that I have about mobilization. About the tutorial playlist or the foot health playlist, I'll check them out. Get your own nighttime stretching in and get some spinal movement in. Oh, I forgot to mention that spinal movement was what I was doing a lot off camera. A lot of movement of the spine, articulating, doing a lot of spinal waves and some varieties of spinal waves. That's just something that's very low impact, low fatigue, but has so much benefit because almost all movement involves the spine and comes from the spine, and all complex movement definitely goes through the spine. So try out some spinal waves and its variations to mobilize the spine. I know that's a pretty big tenet in Pilates to get the spine moving. Joe Pilates, said that you're only as young as your spine. A 30-year-old with a stiff spine is very old, but an 80-year-old with a very loose and mobile spine is a very young person. So keep the spine moving, and it's very important for movement creativity, movement development, because if you're moving your spine a lot, you naturally just move your whole body more with different techniques that you can explore and try out. Don't forget to train, some of the end connections, like the hands, the wrists, the fingers, the toes, and all that. Those are all really important to get there. And if you want to call me and you want to talk anytime, there's a connect with me number at the bottom. You can call. It's $1 per minute. And you can talk about whatever, ask some questions, or just say whatever you'd like. I'm happy to chat whenever you want. And that's all I had done for today. So thanks for watching. I'll have some more videos for you tomorrow. And bye-bye.